We've been trying to get the most up-to-date information for you on this barge fire to keep you updated as to how long it's going to take to put this thing out. Earlier, we spoke with Lieutenant Mike Clawson about the explosion, and he's kind enough to join us again to give us some insight. Thanks so much, Lieutenant, for being with us again. All right, what can you tell us about this explosion?
Around 8 o'clock, we received a report that an explosion happened on a liquefied natural gas, or LNG barge. We have field investigators out on scene currently trying to gather information and ground truth the initial field reports. The report right now is that it's one barge. They were doing a cleaning operation on the barge at the time of the explosion. The fire department's current stance is to allow the barge to burn off. We have done a safety zone of 1 mile in the Mobile River from the north and south. There's a temporary flight restriction of 3 miles, 10,000 feet altitude. There's the report is that there's 3 injuries of burns, and they've been taken to USA Medical.
Okay, I want to talk again about the flight restrictions right now. You say that it's 3 miles. Explain why that might be in place.
Well, we liaison with the FAA and tell them the situation, and they determine the miles and the altitude. So it's not really our call. We just let them know the situation, give them our field assessment.
Okay, and once again, the ship channel has been closed for pretty obvious reasons there. How long do you anticipate, based on your experience in the Coast Guard, this kind of thing to continue?
Well, the 1 mile safety zone for the north and south, what we'll do is we look at vessels, commercial vessels in the queue to see the impact on traffic. That's the situation as it develops, and determine when we can lift the safety zone. Provide marine information broadcast to mariners on the hour to let them know on the situation and the safety zone, and if there's any information, updates on the information.
Now, how many ships are waiting to come up the Mobile ship channel? Do you know?
Commercially, right now, we don't have very many ships. There's only a few vessels, what we call in the queue. They're scheduled to come in later on tomorrow. So we'll assess the situation and determine if it's safe to allow the commercial vessels to transit channel if the barge is still on fire, or if there's any danger to those vessels.
Now, are your crews nearby, or have they sort of taken shelter in place away from the scene as well?
We have crews on scene. They're doing assessment as much as they can, but they're obviously cognizant of safety. So as much information as they gather in a safe location, that's what they're doing.
Now, what about the crew on the Carnival Triumph? Have you been? We've heard that they've been told to evacuate, to abandon their ship. Have you heard anything about that?
I've gotten no reports of that.
Mm-hmm. In terms of how long we could be here, we heard the fire chief say we could be here all night. Can you give us any kind of perspective, in terms of dealing with these natural gas explosions? How long it could take? Is there a way to gauge if we're close to this burning out or not?
Well, our field assessment will actually determine whether how much natural gas was in the barge. If it was even at all a natural gas barge, it could be a full barge that had gases in it. So our field assessment will determine what type of barge it is, what was in it, and that will help us make more educated decisions on fighting efforts, response efforts, and how long it would possibly remain on fire.
All right. Well, thank you, Lieutenant, for sharing some more light on this. Again, recapping, Bob, what he said here. One barge affected in this explosion, and we know that there is a 1 mile safety zone in effect, and that is